to a centimeter midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arises. Street light shining, you know my time's arriving. Out when it's dark cause we midnight vibing. Midnight driving, cruising by flying. Living so fast, never think about dying. Balls up in the dark and we hang out with the Batman. Scars on my knuckles cause we fucking with the wolf gang. Switchblade shining, night bright wildin'. Stars in my eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track. Killing shit cause I've been begging. Suicide on the second, I don't care, just accept it. Knife swipe and your doom. Switchblade coming soon. Chills on your spine when we holler to the fucking moon. Still shine bright, frostbite, make it eyes wide, shut down, slice with the right swipe. Blood on my fist, knife test, my wrist, moonshine on the blade, just cruising through the mist. Middle of midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arises. Little bit of midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arises. Little bit of midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arises.
That's a random video.
Hey, back. Yeah.
This guy's just so drunk.
Oh, fuck. Watch out.
Fuck your shit. Oh fuck, watch out. Yeah, how do you not go drop kick this guy?
Well, I mean, you just pull out your golf cart.
Who needs to kick him when you can run him over?
Like, he's like, just leave him there. Leave him there. Early stoppage, the comment says. Bunch of beta males just standing around watching a drunk guy destroy personal property. Man recording had one job, missed the most important shot.
I'd hate that. I went driving yesterday through there's a roundabout by the casino, and I went the right way. I wanted to turn left, so that means you have to drive 3/4 of the way around the roundabout, right? And right when I got halfway through, this guy turned right. Or turned left the wrong way in the roundabout, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so we were headed towards each other.
Oh, what the fuck?
I wanted to slap him so fucking hard, dude. I can't imagine if some guy was throwing a brick at my window. Like, I would pull out the goddamn pimp hand or something. Like, get out of here. That guy, imagine that, going the wrong way around a roundabout. Like, how drunk do you have to be?
Like, is this your first time?
Yeah. Are you asking to get slapped, good sir?
You have to go across, like, solid yellow lines just to do that. Like,
you have to actually want to say fuck it to everything to pull one of those moves. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Crowded Room podcast. I'm Alex, he's Jared. We're joined today by Paramon Kutervetsky.
Kuterjetski.
Kuterjetski, that's it. You come straight out of Russia, yes?
Not straight from Russia. I was born here.
You were born here. Let's start at the beginning.
So
Where
he's
were you
Canadian.
born? Yeah, so you're
I was
Canadian.
born here in Canada,
Into the mic. You were born where in Canada?
Maple Ridge.
Maple Ridge.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like
BC.
Vancouver.
And how old were you when you immigrated back to Russia then?
2 months. I was 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
how
so
long did
then-
you stay there?
I stayed there until I was 5 years old.
Do you have memories?
I do. Very clear memories.
You do?
Yeah.
Were you in like a rich kind of neighborhood, or like what you see when the guns start firing in the videos?
No,
and
man.
stuff?
Communism doesn't have rich people, brother.
There's gotta be like
I've
where
heard
does
of
Putin
Russian
live?
oligarchs. There's
Right? They live on
these
the
rich
yachts.
motherfuckers
They live
over
on
there.
yachts.
My mom said a really cool phrase that made me realize of everything. She's like, the reason, because she loves Canada and everything, but
Yeah.
she also was like, I asked her about the Soviet Union because she grew up in there, right? And my dad and everyone else. And
Yeah.
I asked her, I asked a lot of questions. I'm like, did it work? What didn't work? Because, the Western side of things, they always skew it.
Yeah.
They make it seem so terrible and so bad. And fair enough, there's a lot of countries right now that are going through, bad.
You could call Russia a dictatorship for sure. Putin
Right,
kind of
right.
rules with an iron hand.
In a way, but one of the things she said just about, because you guys are thinking
Oligarchies.
oligarchies, right?
Yeah.
She said one of the nicest things about communism is that everyone was poor together,
Right.
right? And it's like it brings a sort of like union together,
Yeah.
and a sense of community. So whenever someone had a big pig or a big feast, everyone
Yeah.
came over and everyone had a good time together. And I was like,
Okay.
So what you're saying is you like communism.
I've never experienced it. I'm just trying to understand the big
Right,
picture,
right.
right. So
No, people try to demonize Russia really hard, especially today in the news and stuff. But I mean, whenever you hear a whistleblower running away, that's the first destination they look for.
Typically,
yeah.
Right. So it can't be that bad.
Well, and dude, and the thing is, it's, by knowing Russia, because, dude, trust me, I don't support that war at all. Right? There's a lot of shit going on there, and there's a lot of innocent people dying, but I see both sides of the news. I see the Russian news, I see the Western side. They're both skewing it, right?
That was my next question. If you have a big opinion on the invasion of Ukraine and whatnot, do you know many Ukrainians?
Well, put it this way, like, I say I'm Russian,
Yeah.
but my dad is actually Ukrainian.
Right.
He's half Ukrainian. So my grandma's full Ukrainian. He's half Ukrainian. He was born in Ukraine, and then majority of our family, or my family, moved to Russia.
Okay.
And so it's just easier to say Russian. Although nowadays, whenever I talk to people,
Yeah.
I just say I'm a Russian Ukrainian, just so I don't.
A lot of Ukrainians speak Russian fluently.
Your dad is probably from the part of Ukraine that's like closest to Russia, or the part that kind of considers themselves Russian.
Right,
eh?
That's right. Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. So.
And that just shows how close those countries were at one time, and like how much their populations got along. And now there's
dude,
this
it's
war
the same blood,
being
right?
fought for. It has nothing to do with the population. The populations they have no quarrels with each other. There's no sort of racism or prejudice or anything like that. Religious wars. It's literally just like governments being like, no, we need to fight this war. You guys need to go die, and it's kind of pointless.
It's and
Okay.
you said it right, because you said it right. Same language, same religion, same beliefs, same way of raising, same education. It's all the same, man, and
Okay.
it's really sad. It's really sad to see, because it's really just Russians killing Russians and Ukrainians killing Ukrainians.
But the worst part is they're all conscripts. They're all drafted soldiers. Not too many of them signed up individually, like altruistically, to go kill each other.
no, correct, yeah.
They're forced to do so by a guy who would put you in jail if you questioned his authority.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing is too, is like, I've got a lot of friends and a lot of family in that side in Russia, and the truth is what isn't being portrayed and shown is that those people are living the exact same lives we're living right now.
Yeah.
They're having podcasts, they're going to concerts, right?
For sure, but they're not allowed to protest this war, and if they get caught, they get sent to like the front lines essentially, or
But-
at least get like conscripted.
Look what happens in Canada when you protest the government, right? You
Oh
get-
yeah,
you
the next
get
worst
fucking,
thing.
the
Freeze your
horses
bank
trampling
account.
all
Yeah.
over you. Yeah.
Horse-
Exactly, right?
yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
not that much different. We
Who-
like to think
hey.
that it's different, right?
So one more question here before we kick the show off. Who do you prefer, Justin Trudeau or Putin.
Putin or Zelensky?
Putin or Zelensky?
Oh, Putin.
Putin. All right.
Yeah,
There
dude,
you
I
go.
think-
Yeah.
There you have it. That's his opinion.
I honestly,
This is Paramon.
I think Putin's been demonized pretty hard. He actually just outlawed GMO growing in Russia now. You're considered a terrorist if you grow GMO crops.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that.
And I'm pretty sure they don't deal with terrorists too nicely over there.
Well, I mean, like Europe, for the longest time, they only allowed like 3 different GMOs. That was like, this information's like, maybe 8 years old now or something, but like.
No,
I don't
this
know.
was last week's article.
I'm talking about Europe.
Oh, okay.
Europe only allowed 3, so I mean, they're not far behind. Like they don't fuck with their food. That's a North American thing.
Right.
And a third world country thing.
On the record, I do want to say though, like, I don't support the war, like, right? I don't.
Yeah,
And Putin, I think you're right. Putin has been demonized.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of his own sayings, there's a lot of people have opinions about him and stuff like that. But I mean, as a leader, I think actually a lot of Russians do support and follow him.
Yeah, I mean, you
Right.
could call him a dictator. Like I said, he
Right.
rules pretty hard.
Right.
But I mean, you could call Justin Trudeau a dictator just as easily, right? So who's holding the moral high ground here?
Right.
At least he's outlawing GMOs, right? And yeah, Russia has a good reason. Russia has a good reason to be so scared of getting invaded, right? Has a good reason to worry about NATO encroaching so closely to their borders and everything that people kind of shove under the rug.
I'm glad you're saying this because that's what it is, right?
Yep.
So
Recently, Justin Trudeau, actually 2 days ago, I don't know if you heard about this, Paramon, the RCMP announced they're criminally investigating Justin Trudeau for the SNC Lavalin scandal.
Lavalin, yeah.
Lavalin. And I don't know if you heard anything about this, but about 5 hours later, they said, oh, no, he's not under investigation anymore. in the same day.
Right away.
They have documentation, like they put out papers. They're like, this is what we're doing. And then when asked about it, like just a few hours later, they're like, oh, no.
Sorry about that.
No, we're not looking into him
And
at all.
you could
No,
see it
sorry.
coming so hard. Like
Yeah.
at first people were like, oh yeah, he's facing up to 10 years in jail. Oh, this is a breakthrough in justice and criminal justice. But
Yeah.
what is
Instantly
the
shot down.
CNC Lavalin affair?
so they basically did illegal shit and then said, hey, cover up this illegal shit so that we could get away with it. In layman's terms.
I
right?
saw
Like,
an SNC Lavalin van driving around in town 2 days ago, or yesterday actually, and I thought that was weird. What's that?
So I was gonna say, do you guys know that CNC Lavalin is like Canada's #1 kind of engineering consultant to go to?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that, but I would imagine that's why the government was working with them.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, that's exactly it. I actually applied
it's a big company. You see it around. Like you can see trucks driving through this city even with that on the side of them.
And they do a lot of like environmental stuff apparently. Like when I drove beside them, like their motto on their van said like preparing solutions for preparing solutions for the future or something like that. And it's kind of weirdly worded.
I mean, I think they do everything, right? Like civil and environmental, mechanical, all the jazz.
It's nothing against that company.
No.
It's the way that company got exonerated from wrongdoings and then tried to sweep it under the rug, basically.
Well, yeah, totally. No, the amount of affairs and shit going on with CNC Lavalin is a long list, right?
Right, but that's one point that we never really got to before. So you're 5 years old in Russia, you giggling, farting in the bathtub and everything, and then
Correct,
your
yeah.
parents bring you back to Canada. Yes?
Yeah,
Do you have any English? Do you speak English at all at 5 years old?
No, I
Not
don't
at
know
all?
nothing. No, I come back to kindergarten in Canada. And they put me in because I was halfway through kindergarten there. Come here and I'm back in kindergarten in Canada.
Yeah.
And I don't know a single word of English.
How do you learn? Like, how do you cope? Did you do tutoring?
No,
You just kind of
dude.
picked
At
it
that
up.
age, you
Yeah.
do pick it up.
Yeah. No, it's quite simple. And
It's good that you never lost it too. You must have spoke it around the house a lot.
Okay.
The Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I was young, apparently I spoke Croatian fluently because
Right.
my grandparents did, my dad did, and then I grew out of it. I don't even remember being able to speak Croatian, but at one point in my life I could.
Wow.
But but then eventually it just atrophied and you lost
My
it.
dad was the only one in my immediate family that spoke it, and he didn't speak it all the time, so it was English all the time. Eventually, it's gone.
Did you say atrophied?
His Croatian atrophy.
That's a big word. That's good.
Yeah, that's
It's a weird way to put it, but it does make
That makes
sense.
sense. I like that.
He didn't use it, so it withered away.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But anyways, so then you beat the odds, you learn the English,
Yeah.
you become a prominent member of the Canadian Society,
Full
and
Canadian.
nowadays you are an engineer, or you're still in school?
Right. No, I'm an engineer.
You just graduated
It's
I remember you did
almost
your
2 years.
convocation-
No, 2 years now.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you call your credentials?
Can you elaborate? What is credentials?
What would you say you do for a
Still
living?
doesn't speak the best English, folks.
Okay. Dude, English is actually really hard for me.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Me too,
People-
dude. And I
'cause I
lived
don't
here
have
my
an
whole
accent.
life.
Credentials
I
are
don't
what are
have
you
an-
certified to do?
I don't have an accent, but I stumble upon my words all the time. But
Damn.
I'm an environmental engineer. Technically, I'm an environmental engineer in training.
Yeah.
You got to be in training for 4 years before you can become a professional engineer.
After school?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it means you got to work under an engineer for 4 years before you can be classified as
Okay.
as an engineer. And that's what I'm doing. I'm almost on my 2 years, but I don't know if I told you guys, but in September I'm going back to school for masters.
Where?
On the other side of the country.
On the other side of the country, yeah. I'm going
Wow,
to Queens. I don't know if you're-
Queens.
University.
I've never heard of this. Where's
Oh,
this?
That's okay. I'm not going to take offense.
Oh, that's a fun.
Yeah, it's a decent school. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but
Where? Where is this?
it's Kingston. You ever heard of Kingston?
Ontario.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. You can give me that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just taking a break. Starting to realize that there's a lot of things I still want to do in education. I'm a big fan of wastewater treatment, like all the water treatment. You know. And,
Yeah.
so yeah, I just want to get back into that a little bit. And
So you'd call yourself an environmental engineer.
correct? Yeah, those are my credentials. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Hey,
You're a
this
big
guy's
fan.
The job title.
big man talking legalese here.
You're a big fan of wastewater
All right.
treatment,
Well,
and you
that's-
couldn't even flush the toilet in the bathroom.
well, I had a
Fuck.
bit of a problem. Wastewater treatment. Yeah. But anyway,
That's called water conservation. Okay.
No, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow.
All right.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so an environmental engineer at what age are you right now?
Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Do you know?
25.
I'm 24. Yeah.
24. There we go. No, that's really good.
Yeah,
He's handsome as hell. Look at him.
well.
Yeah, you're busting
I
through.
don't know. I had to shave for work right now, and I'm not a big fan of how it's coming out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's a pretty- you got a
I'm sure the
Face,
ladies love it.
Very, very pretty face going right
Dude,
now.
I'm on a fucking dry spell. I don't even want to talk about it.
That's why you got to go to Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll do well there.
Abroad, yeah.
You'll do well there.
Well,
You should fake the accent. It might help.
I can't.
The
but I can do my
No,
best,
wait
yeah.
till the war is over.
Dude, my
A little
dad,
more liberal, pro-Ukraine over there. Wait till the war's over before you flash the accent.
when do you think that will be?
You just walk up and be like,
Honestly, this war ain't ended
Smash.
anytime soon, and I think we have
Smash.
better chances of the rest of the world jumping in
Right.
than we do of it ending. So that's a scary
Do you
thought.
guys think it's gonna
The world?
nuclear? Do you think it's gonna go?
I hope
nuclear?
not.
No, I mean, a lot of people are saying Putin's on his deathbed and he's got to make a name for himself before he bows out.
And
So
I could totally see that too.
people
right?
say that that's a concern.
Yeah.
I think a bigger concern is Iran just trying to swing their dick around. You know, Putin seems like he's defending himself more than he's aggressing the world.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
dude,
honestly.
Russia's not in a good spot right now.
And so they're defending themselves, right? I don't buy into this whole demonization of the entire other side of the world. Like this is where you want to be. We're the good guys. That makes zero sense whatsoever. That it's like people say you look back in the history books. for some reason the good guy wins every single time. I don't know if it's just luck.
Yeah.
Well, history is written by the victims.
Right, but every single time the good guy wins, right?
Well, that's exactly the quote. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to get
Yes
back
and
into
no.
it and all, but I do want to say, man, like, yeah, it's like I do think there's too much of that American influence on what's going on over
Patriotism.
there, right?
Western influence.
All the money being thrown into it, and it's like
Laundered.
man,
Well, you find all these bioweapon labs coming up in Ukraine. You find actual Nazi battalions that lived in Ukraine that are killing their way through the entire state.
Called
You
the
find
Astal, or what is it? The Astal battalion?
Azarov, Azarov, something like that
You
battalion.
were telling me about that actually. Yeah. I didn't even know about it, and then I read into it, and I was like, holy shit.
There's literal Nazi camps that have found their way through Ukraine. You find Biden's family getting paid out from their ties to Ukraine. Their entire family has gotten money from there.
Not only that, there's been rockets being launched since 2014. There's been a war going on there since then.
Correct.
And it just no one talked about it. They didn't consider it a big enough war to tell that to North America.
Right.
You know, like now all of a sudden it's a real war. Now Russia's invading, but like
Right.
Can I tell you a quick story about that?
Please
Had
do.
an
Please do.
interesting. So I went to go see my dad and my sister, and the whole family came out to Ontario for New Year's last year. And I stayed back to kind of seeing the old man and just kind of spend more time with him. And we're sitting in a hot like a sauna. I think they're called saunas. But anyways, it's just a dry room.
A sweat
hot room.
lodge.
Yeah. There you go.
that's
We're sitting there.
a sauna.
And there's this other guy sitting there, just my dad and I, and another guy. And I don't know, they start talking. You can hear both of them, my dad going like, "Oh, how are you doing today?" kind of thing, and right in the Russian accent. And the other guy replies right in the same accent. I'm like, oh, fucking, here we go, right? So, it doesn't take long before they start to realize that they're both from that side. And lo and behold, we start speaking in Russian because the guy speaks fluent Russian, but he's Ukrainian. This happened in January. This guy's a Ukrainian. And my dad goes, hey, like, no offense or anything. I want to just address the elephant in the room. Do you have a political stance on it? This Ukrainian tells me, I'm sitting there, I'm like, God, like, I'm going to push my dad out of this door. And he goes, I hope Russia takes over Ukraine. I'm like,
Really?
Jesus Christ. How can you say that?
Talk about an icebreaker.
And yeah, dude, I'm like, fuck. And my dad's like, well, I'm always going to support Russia kind of thing, but goddamn, like, holy, tell me about this. And the guy goes, man, I fled from there with my family, not because of the Russian invasion, but because of the Ukrainian
Crimea
dude. Yeah.
in
All
14.
that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I literally watched these Ukrainian soldiers break down a door and rape a woman right in front of my eyes, and I couldn't do anything or else they would shoot me.
Backed by the U.S. military, too. Yeah.
He didn't go into details, and I was just still shell shocked, right? I'm like, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is gonna go sideways, and then this is what happens, right? And so, I don't even know why I'm telling you this. Why do we get into this?
Because we're on a
this is
podcast. You're good, dude.
No, why do we
Keep
get into it,
Keep
though?
her coming. Keep her coming.
Can't remember where it started.
Either way, you
were
said
just
you wanted
talking
to tell
about
us a nice
what this
story.
guy had to tell you,
anyways.
and he was Ukrainian and he supported Russia.
Yeah, and that was interesting. But anyways, yeah. So that's
fair enough.
That happened.
I thought that was very interesting. If you guys want to take a complete left turn, I've got this one lady who could tell us a story
Well,
herself.
that's just it. Now you guys know Paramon, and you'll
Now you
understand
guys-
where he comes from, hopefully, when
Let's-
we review things
Let's listen
from
to
here
this
on out.
lady's story, story number 1 on the Discord. Then
All right, let's do it.
she's got something
she looks
to say.
like an interesting woman. She looks half cut.
Yeah.
On the phone with my husband. He's 2 minutes away. All of a sudden I hear a bang. I hear it through the phone, but I also hear it right outside on our street. I drop what I'm doing, I run outside. The first thing I see, the car is completely totaled. My husband's car just completely totaled. I get closer to the car, I look inside. He's gone. He's dead. I start freaking out. I don't know what I'm doing. He was the breadwinner of our family. Like, I didn't have to work when I was with him. He supported it. I was always taking care of our 2 kids were. I start reeling. I wait for the police to get there. They
You tell me how much you
they're
believe
gonna
her.
take the body to the morgue. That's fine. I decide to take whatever was in his car. There's a phone, there's some sunglasses, some other things. I grab all of that stuff, whatever I could. I go back inside. I start making the phone calls. I'm calling the funeral directors. Finally, I get on the phone with the one where the body is. And he tells me that some other woman came and picked up my husband's body. And he says it was his wife. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm his wife. I'm sitting here with 2 kids. I'm sitting here with I don't even know what to do next. So I run down to where it's supposed to be. The funeral director there tells me, no, here's the address of where it was taken. That's where the body is. It's there now. I rush over there. I'm furiated. I'm so angry that I have to go through this on top of losing my husband. It's just crazy. So I walk in. Immediately, I see a black woman crying, sobbing over my husband, my dead husband that I just found in a totaled car. I'm angry. I didn't even know I was. I'm so angry. I'm like, I rush up to her. I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you take my husband's body? Do you not know what I'm going through? And she starts yelling back at me. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm his wife. All of it. And I'm like, no, you're not. I am. It's getting tense. We start just going back. Finally, I'm like, look, I have pictures. I have memories. I have kids to prove it. I will show you. She said, show me then, because I do too. We take out our phones. There's wedding photos. I have wedding photos. She does. It's the same exact man. He's Scott to me, but he's David to her. And we just start questioning everything we thought we knew about him. We start thinking, I'm like, do you have documents to prove his name? There's nothing in documents that she has that says Scott, and there's nothing that I have that says David. It's like he was 2 different people. And we were left with so many questions. We start talking a little more. We realized that we don't really know what he did for work. He just traveled a lot. I never really questioned him. I didn't have to. I trusted him. And she did too, apparently. Well, I knew his one office that I knew of was here, in one spot, and she knew that it was in the other spot. So we decided to go together to both of those locations. And, we explain the circumstances, and we get into those offices. There's nothing in either one of them. It's completely clean. Not even a desk or a chair. And we start questioning even more. We're like, well, how are we going to figure this out? We decide to go to the police. We talk to them. We tell them what happened, how we're not sure who we're dealing with, or we just want some answers. And they're like, we can open up an investigation. We can look into it. We can autopsy the body, maybe find some prints or something. And it all sounds great. So we do that, and then I go home, and I start looking for some more answers. And I remember that I grabbed things from the car, so I start shifting through them, and then I see the phone that I got, and it's dead now. So I plug it in. I'm like, maybe it'll say something. As soon as that phone turned on, messages in different languages. We're talking Japanese, Arabic, Portuguese. It was just wild because my husband and I only ever spoke English. He didn't know any other languages, or at least I thought Scott didn't know any other languages. And then while the phone's on, I get a call. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is someone who can give me an answer. I answer it, and on the other line is a woman speaking in Spanish to me. All I know how to say is, oh, stop. That's it. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me find somebody who can speak Spanish. I run outside my house. Luckily, my neighbor's gardener was out there. He speaks Spanish. I'm like, look, can you please help me? I don't know Spanish. I need you to translate this for me. I just lost my husband. It's very important. And he of course says yes. So he's translating for me. And it turns out that the woman on the phone, she lives in Colombia. Apparently she's also his wife. And on top of that, she has 3 kids with him. It got to a point where I was like, I'm not getting any answers on my own. So I decided to give the FBI a call because obviously the police weren't going to be able to help me because on top of everything, I get another call from the funeral director saying somebody took his body now. So on top of that, but this time he can't tell, he doesn't know where it is. He doesn't know who took the body. It's not another wife, it's just gone. So I call the FBI and I'm like, look, I tell them everything that happens one on top of the other. I'm like, I have this phone. It's getting messages. It's getting so many messages in different languages. I don't know what to do. I just want help finding out answers. And the FBI's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come tomorrow, we'll pick up the phone, we'll open our own investigation, we'll look into it. Thinking finally someone's gonna, it'll be nice knowing at least something. Who was he? Was he Scott? Was he David? Was he someone else? So I put the phone down, I leave it there, I go to sleep for that night. It has to be about 12:40 a.m. The doorbell rings. And I'm thinking, I know they said tomorrow morning, but I wasn't really thinking at all, I guess. I get up, answer the phone, I'm like, maybe it's the FBI. As soon as I open the door, there's a gun in my face. and I couldn't see past the gun, but I know there were 2 men there. And the one's like, where's the phone? I tell them exactly where it is. I'm like, it's upstairs on the nightstand in the drawer. Go get it. I go get it. And they're like, good. And while the other guy goes and gets the phone, the one with the gun in my face says, whatever you want to know, whatever you think you knew, whatever you are looking for, just stop. Otherwise, we're going to come back and this will be the last thing you see. Of course, I say that's not a problem. I don't need any more answers. Whoever Scott was, he's just Scott and he's gone now to me. So I'm reeling, I calm myself down, I go back to sleep. The next day, the real FBI shows up and they're like, oh, where's the phone? I tell them what happens. I said there was 2 people here, the gun. I don't even remember what they looked like. I couldn't see past the gun because I could only think about what will my 2 kids do if I'm not here anymore. And they're like, look, all we can really tell you then is that we think your husband was El Porco, which was an international foreign agent and a mercenary. And that's all they could tell me. They said, you're going to want to stop looking for answers now, especially if they came to your house. They know where you live. They know where your kids live. And I said, that's fine. I'll leave it to you guys. With the stress of it, you know, me and Joe's second wife ended up bonding over it, and we decided to go to church together. And that really saved us, forming that relationship with her and going to church. Like, it was
so
really
she's
helpful.
friends with the black
and now
lady
we're just one big extended family. We're just support systems for each other, trying to raise each other.
You can cut it. You can cut it there. What do you think?
Christ.
What do you think about that lady's story? Do you believe
Up
it?
until the El Porco, I'm like,
El Porco.
annoyed, dude. I was getting annoyed. I was like, okay,
Type that into Google real quick. Let's see what we can find on El Porco. I've never heard that either. That sounds like the funniest name in the world. That sounds like something I would like make fun of you and call you or something.
El Porco.
Oh, El Porco.
He's got
wants
a Twitter.
another fucking taco.
It's a restaurant in San Jose.
Okay.
There's
No, El Porco.
Look, who is El Porco mercenary?
That's
TikTok
it.
search.
That's it right there.
Oh, TikTok search. Fuck
TikTok has got the answers.
That. Oh, El Porco, the origin story.
There we go. 2 weeks ago. Perfect.
What is this fixed pig?
A small pig named Yao Quinn Porquero was born.
Joaquin Porquera.
Oh my god. Okay, that's enough.
It's a small pig named Joaquin Porquera.
All right.
El Porco is what we called the pig. All right. So what do you say?
Hold on. I want to comment on this.
Please
real quick.
do.
I think after her long story,
Yeah.
all the details, I'd still smash.
Oh fuck, she was hot as shit.
Yeah, she was so
And she's
cute,
single,
man.
dude.
Yeah, she's
single.
Yeah.
Hey man,
She's really into international dudes too.
She
You
has
gotta-
2 kids with
2
El
kids,
Porco, though. Little
oink oink, motherfucker, I'm coming.
Yeah, you
little
can do that.
porcos
Look
running
at
around. Yeah,
She
well,
looked kind of crazy like there, but
She does, yeah.
but when she
No,
started
no,
talking,
she does. She definitely looks like you don't want 2 kids with her. That's for sure.
she reminds me of that chick from Cheers.
Cheers
Yeah.
from the '90s.
Yeah, not the little short one with curly hair, but the other one that people thought was good looking.
I can only
What's her
remember the short, curly, black
The one
hair
that's married to Danny
Yeah,
DeVito.
yeah.
No, not that one.
That's the only one I can remember.
No, there was that chick. She was dating the main character. I
Right.
can't remember.
Cheers
Can't
is
remember her
cool,
name.
but no, I don't know.
Cheers.
Out of 10, I'll believe her like a 7 maybe, but
Oh,
that
hey.
story kind of went for some twists
So
and turns.
let's go to the comments for a sec. Cypher's like, what is this video? And Cassandra's like, holy fuck, this is so long. Cypher says, imagine asking her about how her day after work. Holy.
Either way, that's insane. If that's serious, then shitty for her.
Dude, she's gotta be on.
Talks too
Dude,
much.
just
That's what
the
I was
odds.
thinking.
The odds, like someone does that. Someone in the world that does exist somewhere, right?
Someone out there, she has like a best friend who has to listen to that shit all the time.
nonstop.
One
Well,
too
when you
many
got a
James
camera in
Bond
your face,
movies.
you go fucking hard, right?
That's
Yeah.
just, if you're a female, I think you talk like that.
You just go a little too much.
All right, that's a joke, obviously.
I like it. It's a funny joke.
Holy.
It is a funny joke.
Holy fuck.
I like
I
it.
said one thing.
Anyways,
And we're
what do you believe the lady?
No, I think she's full of shit.
You don't believe her
No,
at all?
She's full of shit.
It seems like something you would say to get fucking some notoriety on the news.
Well, at the beginning, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, why would she be making this up? It's a
I
weird
know,
story,
right?
but then the El Porco.
And then at the end,
That
it
was so
takes you for
funny.
such a twist.
I
yeah.
don't even care if she's lying or not. She could be telling the truth, but it's like, wow, like holy fuck, she went on and on and on, knew
yeah.
all these little details, and like, Yeah, that was weird.
Right. That's a little odd. I honestly believe it more than not believe it, just because, like, why? Why would you fucking lie? And we still don't know her name.
I think the weirdest part, she's talking to her husband on the phone. She hears a bang.
Yeah.
She goes outside, and he's dead right there.
No, not only that, but then she's like oh, so I went back and grabbed all his phone.
I know that. I was going to get to that. She's like, oh my God, my husband's dead. I better grab my phone and grab all this.
Why did she right 2 seconds in the video, she goes, he's the only breadwinner. Blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
right.
Like,
that's all you're
husband
thinking.
Just died. Yeah. Bullshit. do you have a boo button there? Because that deserves a boo button.
There
Boo
is
button?
somewhere. I get it. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was very verbose. We don't need that shit too much. But
Absolutely.
I just thought that story was a bared witness to us for sure.
So I think we have a little less funny content than we should have this episode. But is there anything else worth watching that'll give us a good
I got a funny one. It's not really like a stand-up comedy, but if you play number 5 in the Discord, this is Fetterman. He got Biden to come. He's the Pennsylvania senator. He was the guy who like had brain surgery, and people are like, he sounds like an idiot. He can't even talk. But he got elected in. And now Biden came to his state. He didn't even wear a suit. He's like, yeah, I'm good in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. He's a literal senator of Pennsylvania.
What? Jesus.
Right. So let's go.
Again, next to a collapsed bridge here, and he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation. To make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. The dual kind of a law of the infraction bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across America getting rebuilt. And now I'm standing next to...
That's the guy that Pennsylvania voted into office. That's how he acts when the president of the fucking country comes to his state.
The delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick.
Yeah.
Fast,
This is some sick...
They're playing... This is the
president
second
that is
playthrough
committed
here.
to infrastructure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what's his name here? Fetterman, John Fetterman. That the great state of Pennsylvania elected into office. I don't know if you remember this 2 years ago. It was like a big joke because he dresses like that to every rally. He wears a
really?
He wears a sweatshirt.
And this is 2 years ago.
doesn't give a
I don't
shit.
remember this, but
He got elected at least 1 or 2 years ago, and now the president comes to his state, and that's how he dresses. That's how he acts, and you can hear what goes on in his head. Like,
well, they're both clowns.
that's just it. This is literally a circus that people are trying to like pull over people's eyes. I know, it's dumbfounding.
No, like what I started to think about is like there are people who look at him and if
think
he's the majority win and he's got the majority votes,
they got voted for you.
I don't believe people are that stupid.
It's almost like trolls were like, tee this is gonna be fucking funny.
Maybe he didn't dress like that when he was getting elected.
No. He I don't think I've ever seen him in a suit.
Shit.
He dresses like a skater, bro. Like your
Maybe that's why they elected him.
like your dad's fucking brother or something shows up to goddamn Senate.
My dad's brother dresses like all of us are dressed right now.
Right.
Especially Andrew, actually. He looks the most like him.
So that's John Fetterman. I don't know if you've never heard of him before. This has been an ongoing joke for the longest time. He got brain surgery, or no. He went rogue and nobody saw him for months because he went into clinical depression. Like he checked himself in for clinical depression. He came out and he had like weird facial expressions, and people thought that he was like a clone. He wasn't the real him. And his brain was fucked. And that's exactly what people are saying about Biden. And now they got them both on the same stage. They look like kindergartners that were put up there for like a play or something.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like NPCs.
yeah. Like, what am I supposed to do with my hands?
I can't wrap my head around this, man. If he's such a joke and if Biden is such a joke, the majority of people voted for Biden.
Yeah.
So
But you got to think
it's a joke.
That's because like Trump was the other option, and a lot of people just won't vote for him.
Still,
So like that's the
that doesn't make you any smarter.
I know. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that's the only way I can understand and fathom how
So you
half
think
the
people,
country
like, regret their
voted for
decisions?
Biden because Trump was the other option.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, that makes
like,
sense.
Personally, I think Trump's a better option than Biden. Like
We can make that conclusion now, though. We didn't know that at the time, is what you're saying.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
a lot of people didn't, and I think even now with his failing health, it's crazy how many people still won't vote Trump. They'll vote whatever's against him.
Right.
Even if this guy's on death's door, you know, like.
And it's just so obvious, like when you're stumbling over your words like that, it's you don't actually have a grip of what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You're like grasping at straws,
Kind of like Justin Trudeau.
right? And then
Every time he talks.
Trudeau, when he talks, it pisses. He goes
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it upsets me so fucking much, dude, to listen to some guy go and you're the leader of this stupid country. Like I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine when he first got it, right? Like, it's like, okay, maybe he's nervous, blah blah blah. But it's been 8 years, 7 years, 8 years. He's still doing it.
He's still there.
It's not.
We have this guy to thank for it too.
Yeah. Oh, it's my fault. Yeah, my fault.
One of us voted for him.
Yeah. No, I can admit to that. Yeah. I voted for him the year he got elected. I voted for him. I've admitted to that, and I shame myself every day for that moment.
50 lashes.
Yeah.
The real clown is who voted for the Green Party.
Yeah, I didn't do that either, but yeah.
Not me.
That was me.
Oh really? I'm not embarrassed to say I voted PPC.
Holy shit.
And that's extreme too.
Was
right?
PPC even around? The year that Trudeau got elected, PPC wasn't even a thing, I don't think.
Not in the last election, whatever we had. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Dude, my dad lives right across the border from America. Like, there's a big lake that goes between Canada and America.
Is it Lake Michigan or Superior?
One of the Great Lakes.
Yeah. Well, he lives in it's near Sarnia. Yeah, Ontario. But dude, it's actually so funny. During COVID, I was living with him for a bit, helping him do construction stuff, and at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. on Friday, the whole side of Canada is quiet. Whereas you literally walk along the river, and not even 70 meters away from you, there's like fireworks and people partying and going to clubs. It was so funny to watch. But
crazy.
About the PPC is there's a lot of people along that Ontario side that are close to Canada, especially near the bridges. They're voting PPC, and they will put their stakes into the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know who they're voting for.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're proud.
Yeah, I haven't buried my heels in the sand with that. They made sense last election. I don't know. I'm leaning more conservative this election coming up, but who knows if we'll ever see it. Trudeau could pass a bill that says he's king.
Yeah,
Canada.
Exactly. That's
and we never get another election.
Yeah.
I am now royalty.
Oh, he'll
There's
pass.
not much you could do about it.
He'll pass a bill that demonizes everything that the other party has to say, and then just today I was reading. There's a bill in Canada now that says if someone feels threatened or feels like you may say something that gives them anxiety, you can be a criminal now. Like they can tell on you, and you can get arrested if they just think that you're going to. So our podcast, considering what we've said before, a really weak person might watch it, and they could call the cops, and they could say, I fear that these people are going to give me anxiety with what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And I feel targeted, and they will come after us now. That's a thing in Canada.
Oh, dude, we could get not arrested, but fined for just saying Trudeau's a piece of shit.
For sure.
Live on here.
Andrew, could you play
And that was a quote. That wasn't an actual statement.
Let's see. It is number 9.
I know. That comes into effect on Sunday, hey? It gains royal ascension to Bill C-18 to where...
What Jared's just talking about?
No.
This is not that one.
This is where articles from America or anywhere in the world are going to be censored to Canadian... social media accounts, namely Facebook and
right
Instagram.
there.
This fucking website
It's right there.
sucks.
And that is deemed to
Check this
receive
out.
royal ascension on Sunday this week.
Yep. Check this out, boys.
Up to speed. Folks, since last week when Prime Minister Trudeau decided to redesign the Canadian crown and replace the cross with a snowflake, we think he's earned himself the title of the Snowflake King. And so, the Snowflake King has embarked upon a mission to give his snowflake minions unprecedented power. The power to have you arrested for what you say online that they could deem as hurtful content. Well, this is the part of the bill that states that people can have you charged and arrested for a crime that you didn't even commit. If someone just so much as fears that you may say something that's hurtful to their identity, then they can have you charged, right here. A person may, with the Attorney General's consent, lay information before a provincial court if the person fears on reasonable grounds that another person will commit these offenses. And here's the part of the bill that states that people can remain completely anonymous, they can report you from their living room, and they never have to disclose who they are, and they never have to go to court. And this is the part of the bill that creates an entire new industry for these snowflakes to get awarded up to $20,000 for reporting something that you may or may not have said online, and they get to do it anonymously. How many people do you know who are easily offended? And if they were able to be awarded $20,000 and report you anonymously and never have to show up to court, well, that would just be a coward snowflake stream.
I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me, you don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because there's something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your
Dude, you missed some you missed some shit.
Well, let me bring you up to speed.
So, anyways, Alex, what they're saying is, if you feel offended by, let's say, our content as an example, now you can complain anonymously, never have to go to court, be awarded $20,000 if we are found guilty, and they just have to assume that we might say something that offends them. It doesn't have to be that we did. It's something we may or may not have said. And then they posted footage of someone getting arrested in the UK for the exact same thing. He's like, I posted something that this guy shared. How come I'm the one in cuffs? And he's like, because you may have caused them anxiety.
The reason that America is an anomaly in the world is because they're the first nation to ever actually give their citizens a freedom of speech. No one ever, everyone else, like, we think that we have freedom of speech here. No, we just have lenient laws.
Yeah.
There is no such right to free speech in the Canadian Constitution. That's an American thing. And that the people like to shit talk America, say there's good and bad. The grass is always greener no matter how you look.
Yeah.
But they do have actual freedoms that they fought for in a goddamn war that we don't. And maybe some of them take it for granted. A lot of them say, oh, you don't need AK-47s, 50 AK-47s in your house. But the fact that you can have it is an anomaly in the world. No one else has that freedom, right?
I love they're like, you don't need an AR-15. And the reason why they think they need them is because, to fight back against a tyrannical government. And they say, the argument is, oh, you can't fight a tank with that. You can't fight back against the government with that. Then why are we sending them to Ukraine? Why are we sending AR-15s to Ukraine then if we can't fight back against the government with them?
The argument was never to fight your own government. That is
tyrannical government.
The argument was to fight the British. It was never to fight back against your own government.
It's worded as a tyrannical government. It's not.
That
labeled.
was the British. The Constitution was written by the American government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was never so that you could come back and fight us. The government was never supposed to be the aggressor against the people. They were always made by the people, elected by the people. So the difference is nepotism is what took over the European kind of ruling. Every time the king died, his son came into power. That was the idea that they were trying to topple by creating the Constitution of America. And it's kind of been corrupted to its own right. If you see, like, George Bush Sr. and Jr. were both kind of put in. So you see that a lot of times, and people have said that every single U.S. President has been related within like 2 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
The whole idea was you were never supposed to defend yourself from your own government. Your own government was supposed to defend you from the world. So that's only a recent thing where we're like, hey, I need this so that you don't come take it from me.
My understanding was
not what the law was written
that was
for.
in place in case the government ever decided to not be for the people, so we could rebel against a tyrannical government.
You were protected from without, not from within.
But I believe the way it's written, it does not count that out.
No, I get it, and people can interpret the way it was written.
It was written that way for
ways.
a reason, though, typically. But anyways, I did add some more funny content for these last 10 minutes, last minute here.
I have no idea how much what you guys just spoke about went over my head. I have no fucking
I could see that. It was
idea.
like, he's like, whoa.
I was like, no, this is so cool to know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be part of this, but I cannot.
The Constitution was never written to protect you from your own government.
Look at your face. You're like, ooh.
Dude, I literally air forward.
That's fair. That's fair.
Andrew, the last 3 things I shared, I just sent some real quick, especially the very last one I sent. It's real good.
Just a quick note. You right before you showed that senator, you said this isn't a comedy show or stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy.
That was pretty funny, though.
No. Jimmy Carr is coming to town.
Yeah. He's a political comedian. Yeah.
Are you guys going?
If I have something to go with, I wasn't, I don't know. I didn't really plan on it.
When are you planning on leaving town?
End of August.
And it's showing up before then?
It's showing next Monday.
Oh wow, that's news to me. Cool. Hey, if we can get tickets, I'll go with you, dude.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
Should.
Well, here's something we can laugh at for now. Check this out.
Excuse me, but am I invisible?
Possibly from Pluto.
I want a balloon.
You've already got one.
Jumping must have expanded my foot.
And I see you must have fallen on your butt at time or two.
This is like from the most crude show ever.
This
made,
is Married
Paramount.
with Children.
If you've never seen this,
behind
Paramount.
your back, but my car's
No,
only
but
got
I know
half a
this
tank of
actor. He's
gas.
cool.
I'd say it behind your back, but my car's only got half a tank of
You wouldn't
gas.
say that if I came with fries and a medium drink.
Did you never saw Married with Children?
No, this looks great.
The size between small and you.
Upper weight, 2, 4, 6, 8. Go get fun. Upper weight.
1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna fall through the floor.
Think you're going? Aren't you open?
Sorry, ma'am, but unlike your mouth, we occasionally close.
Damn it, dude. If someone said
You're
that
gonna
in
be
real
bored
life.
with your for the rest of your
Right.
life.
But this was on live TV in
It's
the
on,
90s.
it's on TV all the time back in the day.
Next to you, if you want to see what your future looks like.
Chocolate's not just for breakfast anymore.
Come, Penelope. Let's go someplace where they treat us with respect.
Try the moon, you'll weigh less now. Well, let me
Bloody
explain. See,
hell,
it's
dude.
just like an elevator. There's a 2-ton weight limit on it.
So he's a shoe salesman, like a miserable shoe salesman. Hates his wife, hates his whole family. It's called Married with Children, and he's just like such a piece of shit. So he when these chicks come in and give him a hard time, he just tells them how fat they are in the funniest way possible.
What year are we talking about? Like, when was this?
This
Talking
was
the 90s,
early
dude,
90s.
like 95
Yeah.
probably.
You know, the jokes are funny, but let's be real. Like, I mean, they're not promoting big people, and I support that. They're making fun of big
Oh
fat,
yeah, but that
right?
was the whole world in the 90s.
But that's good.
Like
That's
people were
good,
skinny
man.
and fat was out.
Fat
Right?
is not good, man. It's unhealthy.
So that could never air on TV today. Like they could never have a show like that on TV now. People would complain. It would get taken off the air.
Right.
But in the 90s, that was like totally normal. Like we'd watch that. Like whenever it came on, when I was a kid, I'd watch it. Like it was awesome.
It's good stuff.
It was
It's
good. There
funny.
was a lot of good shows back in the day. If you ever had Nickelodeon growing up, I don't know, you got Nick at Night After Dark.
Yeah.
And
what shows?
they played like really good. Like I used to watch Three's Company, Brady Bunch, shit like that. Dude, it was
Just
good.
stay up late and watch the Brady Bunch, bro.
It was good. Gilligan's Island. Do you ever hear any of these shows?
Dude, this is a little bit too old. for
Really?
me.
Oh.
Yeah, he's also like 10 years
wasn't even
younger than
born.
us.
Yeah, I
dude.
wasn't
Like,
born then.
Even if he was born, like, stayed in Canada his whole, like, grew up in Canada, I should say, like, he still wouldn't have seen those things because he was 10 years after us.
Right. Gilligan's Island was from the 60s. Like that was way before my day too. It's just a bunch of reruns that played all the time.
We caught
right?
the last few years that stuff like that was ever, like, what was that other one? The Andy Griffin show?
That was like black and white.
So wasn't Gilligan's Island in black and white? It was pretty close. It was like
It was
barely
really
colored.
close for sure.
But like, yeah, you'll have to look up these shows.
Yeah. There's some really good shows. I really liked Three's Company.
I was
Three's
a
Company was
Roseanne
good show.
fan myself. I
Right?
loved Roseanne.
All in the
man.
Family. Do you
All in the
remember that?
Family is so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Charlie,
What?
No, what's his name? Fuck.
The meathead guy?
No, what's the main character?
Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker. I was gonna say Charlie Bunker, but yeah, Archie Bunker.
That's basically what Family Guy is based off of. Is All in the Family.
And he was like super old, and he was like kind of racist, and he had like a black neighbor.
Clips.
There's an episode where he gets a blood transfusion, and the only person with his blood is a black guy,
and he like doesn't like
and
it.
he hates it. And right before they put him to sleep, the black guy's like, "When you wake up, you might crave watermelon." And then like,
whoa,
straight up, and then walks away. And Archie Bunker's like horrified. Like that's the kind of humor we're talking about.
And they're like super Jewy New York guys.
But
like,
that was played on TV back in the day. Like that amount of racism was like accepted back then, you know? Like
yeah. But I like that. I like Brady Bunch. Brady Bunch was a good show back when I was a kid, dude. It had like 2 movies and shit.
Cypher's going hard here.
Yeah.
Married with Children, 1987. The Man Show, Carol O'Connell.
Man Show was the shit.
Man Show was awesome.
Yeah.
It's where Joe Rogan kind of
I don't know
started,
a
didn't he?
single one of them so far.
He took it over after Adam Carolla kind of started there.
And
Jimmy
Kimmel started. And then Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope took over after the company kind of fired them. And the whole show hit the ground. Like it just shit the bed.
Even
after
Joe
that.
Rogan couldn't save that one.
Yeah, that was kind of the first time I ever saw him. But Joe was big on a Fear Factor back then.
Yeah.
These are like the early 2000s, back when like Chappelle's Show, Crank Yankers.
Right.
Crank Yankers, what a dumb show.
Yeah.
I got a couple more funny videos, unless you got one. They're quick ones. If Andrew wants to play them here quick. They're all recent. I just sent them. Yeah, that guy standing on the fridge there. This one's just dumb.
Get it on it, Jenny. Lay down.
Stupid.
Do you see the one with the Asian lady? She lit a firecracker and threw the lighter.
I saw that today.
And like put the firecracker
beside her head.
And
yeah.
she's like, yeah.
Andrew, play this next one. You'll like this.
I wish Jerry Seinfeld would just tell a dick joke. That'd be the best dick jokes ever, because he's a fucking great comic. It's like, how could you not tell a dick joke, Jerry?
He was so clean, yeah.
Who are these people? Who are these people? I don't know who they are, Jerry! I know the people I work with and a few friends from high school.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know anybody else.
It's definitely a
Why does
trope.
the hair stick
It's
to
like
the
an old school
shower?
trope. Yeah.
Tile in the shower. I don't know, Jerry. I don't give a fuck. Why do they call a chair a chair? I don't know. It's always been a chair.
He's kind of doing Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinison had so much more of an annoying voice.
But
Who's
he's
this guy?
he's kind of doing the cadence. Brian Holtzman. He never really grew up as a successful comic. He's only kind of taking his stride now in his old age.
Because he's like this grumpy old man,
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
stepped into that role. But as far as the Sam Kinison reference, I gotta say, I hate it when people say that. It's almost like anybody who yells from now on is
gets
imitating
labeled as Sam
Kinison. It's like Sam
he literally
Kinison
goes, "Oh," though.
Sam Kinison, he'll be like saying a normal thing, and he'll say it like this for no reason at all.
But then
and it
he
gets
ends
so
with, "Oh."
annoying, and it's like, God damn, man. Sam Kinison was funny, but like, especially
also-
for his time,
You got to
like,
put yourself in the time.
in the late '80s and stuff. And he was actually on Married with Children once.
Sam?
Yep, Sam
okay.
Kinison. Yep.
Yeah, see, this is all pretty new, but that guy, good for him. He's gaining a stride in his later years.
So I got one last one to play. It's Theo Von.
Yep.
And hopefully it's as funny as I
Farming needs
remember.
to stop. That's the single biggest driver of climate change.
This isn't it.
Right?
Oh, there we go.
Without farming, you would be hungry, naked, and sober. That's the facts. Don't fuck with farming, son. You know what I'm saying? Crop till you drop, bruh. All day, son.
He's just gonna make it
bro.
himself.
Farm
You know what
gang,
I'm
bro.
saying? I'm out here raking while you faking, bruh. Don't fuck with farming, bruh.
Farming needs.
I saw the video with just these guys, so I thought
Yeah.
I thought you picked the wrong one. And these guys are hard to listen to. It's so
man.
silly that the younger generation of 20-year-olds think that they have something to say.
Bro, you're talking about me.
No. You're like you have stood your ground and said something. These guys are literally like they have something to say about politics and everything when it's literally just, I think farming's bad. We should stop farming.
Oh, I heard that it's
like,
bad for the environment. It's like the scientists you're getting that from can't even tell you how bad it is. They can't tell you how much it's going to change the planet if we keep doing it. They can't tell you how much it's going to change if we stop doing it.
Yeah.
They can't tell you anything. They can't even prove that we're making a difference.
Yeah.
So until we get a little bit of proof, please, like, just shut the fuck up about, oh, yeah, like, we got to stop eating meat. It's ruining the environment. Like, go fuck yourself. Sounds like you've never eaten meat.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you hear Harry Session, I think it is, those literal 20-year-olds that were like, fucking Biden's the best or something. Like they yell, they slap their hands like this in their TikTok videos, and they like try to tell you how it is.
Never seen it.
Tim Dillon had them on his podcast for a full half hour
To make fun of them?
Beat the living shit out of them verbally.
Ooh, I gotta check that out.
You do. If you type it in, Tim Dillon with Harry something. Yeah, there's Sazin.
You already searched it up.
Yeah, Sisson, that's his name. So he did a half an hour here where he literally talks shit to these guys nonstop, and they don't have much to say.
Sort of one of the popular
They're
parts.
champs. They're champs for
pops up?
accepting this offer and coming in. Let's listen.
Why
to
should Gen Z get involved in anything?
Well, to be honest, like two creepy men approached me and knocked on my door 5 months ago, and they were like, "We'll give you X amount of money."
Yeah. They look 16.
I don't know. I just feel like Gen Z's, different. We've never seen America in like real peace, right? We were born after 9/11. We got into the war on terror. We've had like 3 recessions.
I already hate this kid. I want to punch him in the face.
A lot of us are just very
But they're so loud.
It feels like we're getting fucked.
They
all
scream
the time.
I want
with
to
their
punch his
phone.
brother
All
or
I
friend
can
in the
say is
face, and he hasn't even
I
talked
have
yet.
sympathy for the school shooting thing.
Of course.
I'll listen to you. I've never seen a video of you guys
Let
being
him
introspective at all. In the sense that it just seems like you're cheerleaders for one side instead of going, hey, I'm a young guy. I want to be involved. And I'm passionate about this, but maybe our side isn't perfect in this way and that way.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like it's actually really hard in this space, right? Like we have like 45 seconds to record a video, keep people's
to make
attention.
it talk.
And a lot of people on our side, like if they start hearing, like I've actually done it before. I've criticized like a Democrat, like specifically Hakeem Jeffries, and it all just went south. Like I started losing followers. Like it's bad, right? And I really want to be that person.
That was the clip. That was perfect.
That is perfect. He's like, I criticize the other side.
Listen them all the time. But it's also hard in the space to criticize.
That's a good. Can we clip that quote?
Yeah. So he's just like, can we just keep
please don't clip that. Please, no. Please,
By the way,
don't.
I would say the same. I would say the same thing about most party machine politicians. I would say I don't think you're wrong. I think it's the lesser of two evils argument that people have had forever. What you just said is pretty much where the American people are. A lot of people think Democrats and Republicans are both horrible at their jobs, and the people that vote for them are still going to vote for them based on whatever self-interest they have. I don't think that's actually that crazy. What I think, though, is like when you're so young and you're yelling and you have people that have had so much more life experience than you, you can imagine how it looks to people that are older. And,
I don't think they can.
They see you guys.
They don't
and
care
they go,
yet.
"These kids,"
They can't.
I mean, even
No,
though
they
you're not
can't.
Because I
kids,
couldn't when I was
young men.
young either.
They don't
You
fucking
can't.
have any idea what they're talking about. Maybe Harry, you obviously you're from Langley, Virginia. You have a little bit more. But then, Chris, they found you in like a Waffle House.
Yeah.
So people, I had no idea George Soros ate
He
in
just
Waffle
shits on him for
Houses.
30 minutes.
The point is
basically.
like,
but they're good
so
sports
what
for
do you guys do?
coming
I go
and
on
doing
Twitter
this.
Sometimes and you and the
Well, they're
little
probably
MAGA
afraid to
freaks,
speak.
you
Let's
guys
cut
all
it.
yell
Let's
at
cut
each
it.
other.
That was
Afraid
the
to talk
perfect.
back to this guy. Like,
That was the
he might knock
perfect
us
spot
out.
for you to pick up there too.
Dude,
Well,
Yeah.
change is such a big.
They yell into their phone and TikToks and just say like Biden is the future. He's doing fucking God's work. He's on the right side of history and all this. But they're like literally yelling. When
Isn't that ironic? The right side.
The right side. Yeah. Oh,
One
ladies
person
and
locked
gentlemen.
themselves in a room with a cow, and another person locked themselves in a room with a running vehicle, and see who comes out the next day. Hey, that's
He's
a
talking
great,
about emissions.
I understand that. Yeah. Only one of them's gonna die.
All right.
But speaking of emissions, I think Andrew let a couple out. We got to get out of here.
Fuck that.
Oh, Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen,
Don't you dare.
We'd like to thank you all again. Not Andrew, Paramon, where do they find you? How do the good people, the good folks listening, how do they find you on social media?
They don't.
Yeah, they do. What do they type in?
Paramon,
I think
Cooter,
Paramon
Jet Ski.
at
Cooter Jet Ski. It's exactly what you think it's spelled like.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
We really appreciate you. That's why we kind of want to help you. Like, if anyone's ever listening 5-10 years
I just
in the
lost
future,
a lot of followers, but
5-10 years in the future, maybe they could come
Hey,
find
there's
you.
3 people watching right now, and that's probably because they like you.
There we go.
They're like, this guy's handsome. He doesn't know what's going on, but
They're
he's
all
handsome.
guys, so that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Straight
all
white
right.
males on this podcast.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alex Price on behalf of Andrew and Jer and Paramon Kuderjeski. This has been the Crowded Room Podcast. Good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track. Killing shit cause I've been begging suicide. On the second, I don't care, just accept it. Knife swipe and your doom. Switchblade coming soon. Chills on your spine when we holler to the fucking moon. Still shut bright flash spot. Naked eyes one. Shut down slice with the right swipe. Blood on my fist, knife test on my wrist. Moonshine on the blade. Just cruising through the mist. Middle of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where to go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arrives. And a little bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arrives. And a little bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high. There'll be no one alive when the union arrives.